Finally, a little bit of news is trickling out about Halloween Returns. There was an interview that got released on YouTube that was like 2 hours long with the director Marcus Dunstan just to catch you up, our whole take here on this channel is that we're psyched about Halloween Returns. Because even if it's terrible, even if it's crappy, I'm just psyched to have another chapter in the Myers legacy for us to complain about or to talk about or whatever. I just want more. With 10 movies and all the crap that's out there right now, even though some of them suck ass, I get to the point where I'm like, I need a new one to watch. I've watched these all so many times. So it's fine with me that they're redoing it, recalibrating it, whatever. At least it's not Rob Zombie with the beard in the middle of the woods talking. It's a whole new thing, and I gotta say I'm liking what Marcus Dunstan's saying. Now he's the guy, if you don't know, that directed The Collector and the Collection movies. They're weird, very, very strange, but dark, and they just kind of ugh. The first one just sticks with you in a weird way, and it's got some really gross stuff in it. So a very strange choice for a Halloween movie, and I kind of like it. The biggest thing to me that Marcus Dunstan said in this interview, the biggest piece of news that came out of it, says it's not going to, what we originally thought is it's going to take place after the events of Halloween 1 and Halloween 2, which makes sense. No, says I. It's actually going to take place after Halloween 1, Halloween 2, and Halloween 3, which is a mind blower, because how does that make sense? Halloween 3, again, as I'm sure you guys know, for those who don't, didn't have Michael Myers in it. It was the one about the crazy masks and all that other random stuff that was going on, because they wanted to take Halloween and turn it into a yearly, like, Tales of Halloween sort of thing. Everybody was mad. They took Michael Myers out of it, so they stopped that, they scrapped that, they went back to just, he came back in Halloween 4. Well, how are they going to tie that into the universe that we're going to make this movie in? It's insane to think about. I mean, they could just do this weird little nod and maybe have a couple of Easter eggs or something, but if they actually tie that mainly into the story and have that crazy, wild storyline from Halloween 3 Season of the Witch somehow tie in the Michael Myers universe, it could either be the greatest or worst thing we've ever seen, but it's definitely interesting. If they're still not started shooting on this, he says, but they have begun testing people as Michael Myers, which is really, really exciting. As far as the other casting news, they're saying that the director's really wanting Jillian Jacobs from Community to be one of the 2 leads. He says the reason it's called Halloween Returns, the meaning behind the title, was not just Halloween Returns, which is also fitting, but because there are returns, he says, to being a violent killer. So it's also like the aftermath of what happens when you become a violent entity like that. So we're obviously going to see Michael Myers go through some stuff in this, like he always does in some form, but I guess a little bit more, because the whole idea is like Halloween Returns, like that pain's coming back around to you in a weird way. That's what I'm gathering what he's saying. He's a weird guy, it seems like, and I like it. Now they do say in this, which gets me really excited, they want to go back to the mask of the original 2. That's another huge thing. When they do the mask, they're going back to H1 and H2's mask. That kind of thing. They want to get as close to that as possible. We're not going to get the alien mask from 6. We're not going to get the Party City mask from 4. We're not going to get the weird farmer, strange, doesn't even make sense mask from 5. Or the Rob Zombie ripped up beard mask from H2. We're going to try to go as close to the original as they can, which I love that idea. But again, how is he in jail with the mask? How does the mask situation work into that? And I'm guessing is that maybe since it takes place after the events of H2, the mask is melted somewhat to his face. Now I hope they don't try to tie in those masks from Halloween 3 and what went on with them into what he's going to be wearing at this one. That wouldn't make any dang sense. So I'm thinking that maybe part of it is that where the explosion at the end of Halloween 2 happened, the mask melted into him and it stuck there somewhat. That would be weird. I'm not sure how they could do that and still make it look like the original, but it's a thought. And they asked if it'll have a sequel. He said he wants it to be his Dark Knight. Not only that, but talking about the mask, going back to the mask again, he says he wants the mask in the trailer to have some sort of a reveal like Harrison Ford and Chewie had in the Star Wars thing, when he's like, Chewie, we're home. He wants the mask to have that sort of feel to it. So he's comparing this recalibration of Halloween to the magnitude of Star Wars returning and the rebirth of the Batman series. So you gotta love where his head's at. I like that he's thinking big. I'm loving what this guy's saying so far about it. And it could be crazy, it could mess with the lore of things, but think that's been done before in bad ways. You know, they can't kick it any further once it's down. I mean, after H2, the series has never been this low. Well, maybe Resurrection, which is another thing he said. You don't need a lot of money to do Michael Myers. Like, you need suspense and you need that sort of creepiness, which is perfect. That's what they need to go back to with this series. And he said, you don't need a lot of money for that. What you need a lot of money for is a karate fight in a burning garage, which it's got to be a nod. He's got to be putting down Halloween Resurrection, where Michael Myers and Busta Rhymes karate fought in a garage that was on fire, which is one of the low points of the series. So I love where his head's at. I love that he seems to hate the same things about it that the fans hated. But what are your all's thoughts about all this crazy stuff? How do you think they're going to tie in H3 with this? How is that going to make any damn sense at all? Comment below, let me know. Follow us at We Watch the Movie. We're talking about this kind of crazy Michael Myers stuff all the time. And check out, if you're new to the channel, check out, we've been doing a whole bunch of Michael Myers skits and parodies lately. You guys will love them if you're a Halloween fan, so check out our channel for that. And if you're new to the channel, also click that subscribe button and get some wham up in ya.
We watched